What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. It's episode 11. Got my guy Tyler Osik here. What's going on, bro?
What's up? Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, no, it's been, like we were just saying, it's been a while, man. And, what you been up to during COVID and everything? And, how has that been?
It's been good. Just trying to stay busy for for the first few months of it. I was just training down back where I went to college at UCF, and then I wound up going over to Tampa and working out at this facility over there called Diesel Fitness. So I worked out there for a little bit, and then we had an instructional league with my team out in Arizona for 6 weeks, and I went there. And then now I'm just back home with my family and just started working out and going to be giving lessons to kids and stuff on home and stuff like that.
Okay, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a little, background information, me and Tyler played baseball together when we were, 11, 12 years old on your dad's team. And, we traveled up and down the East Coast. We were a pretty good team at, 12 years old. Pretty good baseball team. That was, I want to say the second to last year I played baseball. I stopped playing probably a year or two after that.
Yeah. Those were some fun times. Those were some of the best times, like just playing. That's when it was fun. You just hang out with all your boys, play. There's no pressure or anything. So I miss those days,
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. That was good. How's your dad?
He's doing good. He's still doing the same thing. He works over at Steel Sports in Yap Bank. It's like baseball heaven, and he's still giving lessons and coaching teams and stuff. And he's still coaching at Farmingdale.
Oh, he's still
I
there?
got the Farmingdale hoodie on right
yeah.
now.
No, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember I forgot who I was talking to the other day, but they were asking me about like baseball when I played younger. And I remember he taught us that Knuckle Drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Knuckle Drop,
Yeah.
man. And I remember I took that with me the next year, and I was I mastered it. I finally got it. And that was, I could start it at someone's head and have it drop in the lower corner outside. And I finally got it.
Exactly. Yeah. He loves that pitch.
Yeah, no, that was a deadly, 0-2, 1-2 count throwing that.
For sure.
Yeah, but let's jump into it, man. So, obviously, your dad was a big influence on you playing baseball, but when did you find the love for the game, and really realize this was your passion and, what you want to do with your life?
I'd say I found a love for it when I was really young, just watching my dad play and then going to the field. And there's like nothing like when you step on like a major league field, like running out from the tunnel, and that's just going out for batting practice with my dad. And then as I got away from that, when my dad retired and I was just hanging around back home, I lost my love for it for a few years. And then when I got into high school, I just started to think about what I want to do with my life and what I really love to do. And I remember, and I was just like, I love baseball. I'm gonna try and do this and start working hard towards it and make a plan on what I want to do. And it took a while to get back to where I wanted to be, a couple of years of really hard work and dedication. And then I finally started to see the progress again, and now it's paying off now.
Yeah. So obviously your dad was in the MLB for probably 10 plus years, right?
Yeah, he played parts of 10 seasons.
Okay, so yeah, I remember Pirates, Nationals. He was with Jason Kendall, right, on the Pirates.
Yeah.
So how was that, growing up as a kid with your father in the MLB, and how was that? I don't know, was there pros and cons to that? Talk about that, the pros and cons of having a father as a professional athlete.
The pros definitely outweigh the cons. It was amazing getting to go around and play with see how guys like in the major leagues and that level of talent like go about their business, and seeing different parts of the country at a young age and being in major league locker rooms and just around that, like it's the best thing in the world. And then I guess the cons is that your dad's on the road for 7 or 8 months out of the year. You don't get to see him much because it's a busy job. You play 162 games in a year. So that was a tough part. And I guess just growing up with that, like with him away is probably the hardest thing, but then everything else was positive.
That's awesome. Did you ever feel any type of like pressure as a lot of people talk with like LeBron James and his son, where you're kind of chasing, your father's destiny and, his, path. Did you ever feel any pressure in that where it's like, I got to make it to the big leagues too? And did that work positively in your favor, where it kind of pushed you, where it's like, you know what, I'm going to be just as good or if not better than my father?
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, maybe I felt a little pressure because I was playing, but I really wasn't working hard. So
Mm-hmm.
like, and obviously, just people when you're a son of a former major leaguer, people are always going to compare you to him.
Of
But
course.
then when I started really working hard, and it wasn't, I never really felt much pressure because my dad's always been like my best friend and one of my coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So he was never like that dad who like said like you need to do this, you need to do that.
Right.
He's like, I'm just going to give you the blueprint, and when you want it, I'll be here for you and I'll help you as much as I can. Like he always was there to throw me batting practice whenever I needed it. He never complained about that. And so I mean, when I was young, maybe a little bit, but then when I started really working hard for it, I felt I started to become more confident, and I'm okay with whatever I do now because I know that I've just I worked hard, and I'm more confident in myself now, so I don't feel that pressure anymore. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's awesome, bro. Um, I want to get into, obviously you hit the crap out the ball when we were a kid. And, talk about going into from middle school when we were 12, 13 to high school and, the transformation you made and, how was that process where you started realizing like, wow, like I'm actually pretty good at this thing. And you know what I mean? Like I have a legit chance to be a pro.
Well, I'm sure just like you remember when we played together, like I could always hit, but I was just like I was out of shape, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and but I was just young. And then what happened was I just saw kids that I used to be like right there with, skill level wise, get way better
Mm-hmm.
because they were just more athletic, more in shape, stronger, faster, just like in every sport. And started seeing people pass me up, and I was just like, all right, I need to figure out what I need to do. And that was obviously I needed to start working out in the weight room. I needed to start hitting more, practicing the skills more. And that's what I started to do. And then I started to make jumps like each off season. I saw little jumps like in my game, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep going. And I'd say probably my sophomore year of college is when I started to realize I could actually do this.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in high school, you were at Shoreham Wading River all 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For you, those of you that don't know, that's out east in Long Island. Probably about 50, 60. I'd say about an hour from me in Huntington. So it's not Long Island's not a baseball powerhouse, where it's pumping out, pros and MLB guys. It's not. So how was that, playing at the Long Island level and still getting that exposure? And you guys were pretty good, right?
Yeah, we were always good, and we were always fighting for a county championship or Long Island championship.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough though when I left Long Island and high school baseball and went into college, because the highest velocity you'll see from a pitcher on Long Island is maybe one time a year you'll see a guy throwing like 88, 89 miles an
Mm-hmm.
hour. And then when you get in college, every weekend guy is 90 plus. So that was an adjustment. And I struggled my first year as a freshman, and then after my freshman summer, I went and played summer ball again and started to get the velocity again and started to become more comfortable after that.
Right. Yeah. Because a lot of people, they see baseball and they think it's, throwing a ball and hitting it with a stick. And it's so the opposite of that. Like hitting a 90-mile-an-hour fastball is the hardest thing to do in the world, and
Especially when they got three pitches, a
yeah,
slider, a
and you don't know
changeup.
what's coming. Yeah. And that's what
Exactly.
I always support baseball. I mean, I don't play anymore and I don't watch that much anymore, but I always will have its back when people try to say baseball is like easy or football and basketball is harder. And it's like, I've played both, and baseball is, I think golf is the hardest sport that I've played, but baseball
Mm-hmm.
hitting and, just the fundamentals of having no idea what's coming at you with zero point 0.3 seconds to decide whether to swing or not, whether, where to swing. That's the hardest thing that anyone can do on earth. You know what I mean? It's a crazy skill.
Seriously, it is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
and you're gonna have to deal with ups and downs, severe failures. I mean, Mike Trout's like the best player in the world, and he'll have times where he's going like 0 for 20. So
exactly.
it's like crazy.
If you go 3 for 10 for 12 years, you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know what I mean, you screw up 7 times, you fail 7 times, and you're in the Hall of Fame. So
Yeah.
it's a sport that a lot of people they don't understand how tough it really is. Um,
Hmm.
so after high school, obviously, y'all were contenders every year. How was your recruitment like after that? And what position did you play in high school?
In high school, I played third base always, and then when I went to college, I played corner infield and outfield at Chipola Junior College in Florida, and I went there, and we lost in the game to go to the Junior College World Series my sophomore year when I was there, and then I had to finish up my associate's degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a few credits short, so I took off a year and then just finished my associate's degree. And I actually within that time in that same year I got Tommy John surgery,
Really?
so I was rehabbing from that and then finished my associates. And then after that I winded up going to Central Florida in Orlando and finished out my last 2 years of college baseball there, and
Yeah.
luckily graduated too. So it was a great time there.
Yeah, no, I've been following you, you know what I mean, and seeing where you're at and um so talk about JUCO cuz I was a JUCO guy and I've had a bunch of guys that were on here that were, JUCO products and it's kind of like we have this almost brotherhood where it's just like everyone that's in JUCO like you kind of like what the struggle is and the grind is that we all go through. And talk about that. Talk about your experience with JUCO and probably coming out of high school, your best, your first interest probably wasn't junior college. You were probably thinking Division One, 4 year school, and then, life happens and you got to go the route that God has for you. So talk about that, the JUCO experience and that decision.
Yeah, dude, I love junior college. Like some of the kids that I met some of my best friends for life there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because you're all doing the same thing, and you all are just working to try and get to the one win, and then two get to where you guys all are trying to go, whether that's whatever your next college program is or professionally after that. And it was just like you just build a bond because it's a grind.
Yeah.
And we like the kids that I still talk to them daily, every like 5 or 6 kids from that team, and I will for probably ever.
Yeah.
So it was
No.
the best time. We won a lot of games and had a great experience.
Yeah, and you were down in Florida too, so that's nice. I
Yeah.
always reached out to Florida JUCOs when I was trying to find a new JUCO and I was transferring. I was in Louisiana, Alabama, and Texas, so I was in the South, but kind of middle of nowhere. You were where in Florida is that?
It was in the Panhandle. It was in Marianna, Florida, which is about an hour, I think, an hour west of Tallahassee.
Okay, so you were North Florida.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like Northwest Florida, right near Alabama, actually.
Okay, yeah, no, the Panhandle, at least for basketball, Panhandle was like top three conferences in the country with Texas, Kansas, and then Florida. Those
It was really
always.
good for baseball too. Like after I left the next 2 years, my school, Chipola, they wound up winning the national championship the next 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big time. How many guys from that team went to the big leagues?
We had 11 draft picks one year,
Oh, out of JUCO.
and out of Chipola Junior College
Wow.
in 2017, 11 picks, and there's been many big leaguers that went there, like Jose Bautista went there,
Really?
Russell Martin went there, Patrick Corbin went there, a lot. I think there's been over 20 of them.
Wow.
And yeah, and I was just thinking about that the other day. I actually I've been in contact with Jose Bautista like here and there, and just asking him for advice and certain things about hitting and working out and routines of like professional baseball players and because he was one of the best players to ever
Yeah.
do it. And I was thinking about it too. Like him and Russell Martin were like huge inspirations and to all of us in my team at the time. Because like when you go there and you see their jersey hanging up, and then they're in the major leagues playing in the playoffs, they like gave us kids hope. Like we're in junior college in Marianna, Florida. They gave us hope that we could maybe do that one day,
Exactly.
and just like it just made us all work and believe, and it just gave us confidence.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I don't know if they know that, but like I don't know if they know how much they like affected like all of us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Is he still in the big leagues or no?
I think he's just retired. Maybe last year.
Okay, yeah, because I remember when he hit like about 50 when he was on the Blue Jays that one year. For a few years, he was
Yeah,
probably the home run
he's hit
leader.
over 50. Yeah, he's been a home run leader. He had a great career.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's a beast. So,
Mhm.
coming out of Chipola, how was your recruitment like? Obviously, you ended up at UCF, but what were the other schools on you, and what finally made you decide that Central Florida was going to be the best decision for your life?
Well, I was thinking about going to Stony Brook and either Stony Brook, Memphis, Missouri, uh, like Louisiana, Lafayette, and then believe it or not, one of my best friends, Brody Wofford, who was at Chipola with me at the time, was getting recruited to go. Like UCF came up to watch him hit,
Mm-hmm.
and um, this is when I was still recovering from TJ. I was like 7, 8 months out, so I was able to swing. I was still recovering with my arm, and they came to watch him. And then my coach was like, "Yo, hop in there, hit batting practice today because UCF's here."
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Klosterman from UCF was there watching, and I had a sick round of batting practice. And he just asked the coach about how am I as a player, and my coach, his name's Coach Johnson, he vouched for me and put his like name on the line for me after not playing for a year. And Coach Klosterman uh, luckily had faith in me, gave me a scholarship. And I said, and it was funny because he like said, you want to come on a visit? Like, we're going to offer you a scholarship or something like that. I was like, you don't have to bring me on a visit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming. Like,
Wow.
I was like, I'm going to come like right now. Like, so I committed right there. And then I was like, and it wound up being the best thing I ever did, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you never know in JUCO, man. There's so many opportunities that just get thrown at you, and if you make the most of those moments, man, it could change your life. And so many people don't understand those moments. In practice, we used to have West Virginia. I had the number one JUCO player in the country on my team as my first year in JUCO.
That's
So
sick.
we had every school in America there. So
Yeah.
he ended up going to West Virginia, and Bob Huggins was in my gym 3 days a week, sitting there on the
Mm-hmm.
side just watching and spoke to him. But those are it's when they come to look at someone else and you're just, doing your thing. Oh, they're not here to watch me. You have no pressure on you. And then you start, you know what I mean, going crazy.
Yo, I can't hear you.
Cut out.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay. We're good?
Wait 1 sec. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, yeah, now we're good.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no, bro, those moments where those coaches aren't there to watch you and you take it full
Exactly.
advantage of those opportunities, and man, it changes your life. One moment can change your life in junior college, and so many people don't understand that. I talked about that on my last episode with Ryan Murphy. He was a kid that went to New
It's
Mexico
crazy.
New Mexico
Dude,
Junior College and ended up going to Pittsburgh.
that's wild. And yeah, dude, that's what I think is so crazy is like I saw this guy, I forgot, I think it was Jimmy Fallon. He was saying, he was like, all the people that are successful in life are extremely lucky.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about being prepared when it's time for that luck to hit.
Exactly.
And that's so true, because if I wasn't prepared for the day that Coach Klosterman came to watch me hit batting practice and I took a shitty round of batting practice, I wouldn't have ended up at UCF and I wouldn't have been able to get a chance to play professionally, you know?
No, exactly. Those, you know what I mean? Those moments, like, they obviously always say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And
Exactly, yeah.
that's it sounds like cliche almost, but it's so important to your life and anything that you're doing, because it's like if you're prepared for that moment, there's no pressure. You're just doing what you're good at, and it just comes natural, and you're not even thinking.
Exactly.
So there's always someone watching, man. There's always someone watching with what you're doing, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously you made the most of that moment, and it took you to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, talk about UCF, man, and your experiences there playing in that's the American, right?
Yeah, the American
Yeah,
Conference.
playing in the American. Talk about that, man, and just share some of those experiences, some of the guys you played with, some of the guys you played against, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was so sick. Just a total experience at UCF, going from junior college to there, and then going to the football games in the fall, like the football tailgates. Like there's like 50,000 people there. The games were sick. Like they went undefeated the 2 years that I was there. I think they lost one game.
Wow.
And so the football games were sick. And then for the baseball wise, it was just amazing going from like at junior college. I think the most people we played in front of was about like maybe 200 people.
Right.
And then my opening night at UCF, there was 5,100 there when we played Virginia.
Wow.
So it was like a complete difference. And like it was just really cool. And I remember I called my dad after that game. I was like, this is what I've been like trying to work for my whole life. Like, cause like the feeling of the adrenaline that you get playing like in front of big crowds and important games and stuff, it was amazing. And it was just a great time there. All my teammates were amazing. We played with a lot of good players. I think we had maybe 5 draft picks each year that I was there. Yeah. Thad Ward, he's knocking on the door of the major leagues right now. He's with the Boston Red Sox. He's doing really good. We faced Shane McClanahan, who pitches in the major leagues with the Rays now. So we faced a lot of good competition, you know.
Yeah, no,
so
I couldn't imagine, you know, playing at that level. It's high level, you know, baseball, and obviously for the other sports, it's high level college, you know, I mean, athletics.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, UCF was a great decision for you. So I think I remember, if I remember correctly, did you get drafted as a junior?
I didn't. I was thinking I was going to get drafted, and I winded up not.
Okay.
Went back to school and played my senior year out and got drafted after my senior year.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how was that? And I ended up reading an article, I think yesterday, after we said we were going to do this. And
Yeah.
that process was a little stressful, right? The draft. And, you know, for before you continue, for those of you that don't know, MLB draft is not the same as, you know, the NBA or the NFL. You know, a lot of
No.
people, when you get drafted in the NBA, you're like, okay, I'm in the league now. NFL, you know, you got training camp, and usually a lot of those guys end up on a team. The baseball is the MLB is a whole nother game, where it's like when you get drafted, you're starting over. You know, it's a farm system, and you're starting over. So talk about that process with, you know, getting drafted, what teams were calling you, and where your mental was at during that whole time.
Yeah. So, at the end of the fall of our fall season, my senior year, I met with about like 16 of the 30 teams, and so I had and then following that, right before the season, I met with each of those teams again. So I had a pretty good idea that I was going to get drafted if I just go out there and I repeat what I did or have a better year than I did my junior year. And so I, leading up to the draft, I had a good idea that I was going to get picked by somebody. A few of the teams was saying that I was going to be a like 5th to 10th rounder as a senior sign, like saver, so that they could give more money to the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round pick.
Okay.
So that on the day of the draft, actually, the Mets called me. The Mets called my agent in like after the 4th round and said, "Would he accept this to go play?" And I obviously said yes. And then I just didn't hear from them ever again. And then winded up, and then it started to get nervous as each round goes by. And then I remember I was sitting out on the back porch with my family, just like listening to it. After the 20th round happened, I went back inside, and my family stayed out there. I was like, I'm not watching this anymore, like, because I was kind of frustrated. I felt like I did enough after 3 straight years of doing pretty well that I would get an opportunity.
Right.
And so then I remember I sat on my couch, and I had probably like 10 or 12 like different scouts numbers like on there, like a business card in my wallet. So I took out each of the scouts business cards, laid it down on my couch, and I just started shooting texts. I was like, yo, just give me an opportunity. All I need is a chance, like stuff like this. They responded back like, like we're trying to pull for you, man. Didn't text the White Sox though. And then about like 5 minutes later, I just put my phone down. I'm watching a random show on TV, and I see somebody comments on my Instagram like saying, "Congrats on getting drafted."
Really?
And I'm like, bro, I didn't get drafted. So and then I looked at Twitter, and my phone started blowing up. I was like, all right.
Wow.
So let's go.
So what round did you end up going?
I wound up going in the 27th round.
27. How many rounds is there? I'm not even too familiar.
There's 40.
40. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of picks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Seriously.
So what was that moment like, man, when hearing, you know, finally realizing that your dream came true, and now this is a new beginning to what's next?
Yeah, I was actually kind of just more relieved that I get a chance, because all I really wanted was a chance to show that I could play at a high level and compete with guys. And when it happened after all those picks, like it was more a sense of relief than being happy. Because I personally thought that I should have got picked a little higher, but it all works itself out eventually when you get out there and you get an opportunity.
Yeah, no, yeah, that just adds more fuel to the fire, and especially being slept on.
Yeah,
That's that's something that is gonna carry with you as you play, and it's just like you just got to prove people wrong.
exactly, for sure.
Yeah, getting into the entire draft process and how that was on your life, and obviously you felt you should have went higher
Mhm.
in the draft, but I feel like once you get that opportunity, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? You could be look at how many guys are round one, pick one, and they don't pan out. And then there's
Mhm.
guys like Tom Brady drafted in the sixth round, 199th overall, and he's the best of all time. So I feel like people think too much into where you get drafted. I think it's more the opportunity, like you said. And, you know what I mean, with your work ethic and background and drive to obviously be great, I feel like, you know what I mean, the sky's the limit for your future.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm so lucky. I wouldn't have had it turn out any other way because like so far being drafted by this team, this like the White Sox have been nothing but good to me, and everybody in their organization, like the staff, the coaches, my teammates, like I wouldn't have had it any other way actually because like I feel like it was meant to be, just I love it. So it's been fun so far. I just want to keep working. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Was
Yeah.
there a preferred destination for getting drafted? Did you want to go to the Mets or the Yankees?
No, I didn't. I didn't
No,
care what team.
no, just wanted to get there.
Yeah, I just wanted to play, because it's like one of my passions is baseball, and I just love playing and love competing. So I just wanted an opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My
Yeah.
my roommate from freshman year, he played 2 years at Lawson State in Alabama, and
Mm-hmm.
then he ended up going to Georgia Gwinnett, which is an NAIA in Georgia.
Yeah,
And
I know them.
he got drafted by the Twins, and he's a closer, pitcher, big kid.
Nice.
Yeah, he was throwing mid to high 90s. He's about 6'7", big kid, righty, and
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's in
they're
the
always good. They're
he,
always good.
yeah, he's in the Twins farm system now.
That's sick.
Yeah. So obviously you reached your dream of getting drafted. Talk about how that's been being in the minors and those experiences, and how much have you think you progressed with your game and your mental as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's been nothing but good so far. When I first got drafted, I went out to Arizona. We had a little mini camp for 3 or 4 days, like all the kids that got drafted and signed that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we split up into what affiliate we were going to. I ended up going to the rookie ball Arizona White Sox. I played there for a month, and then after that month, I got moved up to low A Kannapolis Intimidators, which was in North Carolina, and played there for the last month of that year. And then and then after that, I was playing left field, right field, first base, DHing, like flopping around. I swung it well though.
Mm-hmm.
And the organization decided that if I wanted to, that they think that the best move would be for me to start catching and to go to instructional league to see if I could do it. And I wound up going to instructional league out in Arizona that fall. Started working on catching, and then decided after, the organization decided after that I'm going to make a full switch to moving behind the plate. And then I went to spring training as a catcher, and obviously COVID shut down spring training after a few weeks, so that halted the progress a little bit of starting to catch. And but I worked on it all summer. Wasn't able to get that many live innings under my belt. I just caught pens here and there and worked out. And then this fall I went back to instruction league and finally got to play in real games and work on that. So that was great, and I'm really liking that so far.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't I wish I started catching earlier, because it's such a sick position, and just being in every pitch, like working with the pitcher, it's such a cool position.
Yeah.
When I was young, I was just I just wanted to hit, but
right.
But now it's
And your dad was a catcher, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and my dad actually didn't start catching till halfway through his junior year of college.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did he go to school?
He went to LSU.
Really?
Yeah, and it's I think the story goes their backup third baseman. My dad was playing third base. Their backup third baseman raked, but he couldn't play anywhere but third.
Mm-hmm.
And their catcher was struggling, and they were heading into the regional. So it was right before the regional. And then my dad's like, told the coach, he's like, hey, if you want to get this guy in the lineup, just stick me behind the plate. I'll try it out and do it. And then he wound up catching right before the playoffs. And then they wound up actually going to the World Series that year too.
Wow.
And then he started catching in the minors more often and wound up having a big league career out of it. So it was good for him.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Catching.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever caught in my life. And I've probably played over 1,000 baseball games from the age of 5. I don't think I've ever played catcher once.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think too many people want to do it.
No,
and,
it's
like,
tough.
block baseballs and wear balls off the forearm and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, catcher is a tough position, but it's obviously one of the most important to a team's success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How much has your dad helped you with catching?
He's helped me a lot. He last winter, me and him worked a lot just at the indoor facility that he works at, and we would get off the machine a lot. He would help me with like blocking, like just all the mechanics and everything I need to know. And these last few weeks that I've been home, me and him have been doing it more often, and he's just teaching. Me and him are really diving into it now and getting the mental side of like pitch calling and controlling the game and that type of aspect,
Right.
Because I feel like I'm getting close to where I need to be on the physical side. Now I just need to like figure out like that aspect, like the pitch calling and that stuff.
Right. Yeah. So how much control do you have of the game? Like, are you? I never, I stopped playing so like 8th, 9th grade, so I never really got to that level of baseball. How much, I'm curious, how much do you have in pitch calling, or is it coming straight from the coach or something you see? Is it more of a bond between you and the pitcher?
Yeah, well, in college, it's the coaches call each pitch in college.
Mm-hmm.
So the catchers don't have any free reign in college baseball on what to call, but then in professional baseball, the catcher calls every pitch. The only thing that the coaches will call is our pickoff plays or like if a runner's stealing, like where to throw the baseball. And besides that, you have full control of the game pretty much.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure to have as a catcher.
Exactly, for sure.
Is there a lot of disagreements with you and the pitcher, or y'all are usually on the same page?
Usually on the same page. They're good. The pitchers are good at trusting the catchers and stuff like that. So it's good.
Yeah, that's good. So where are you at right now in the minors? What is it, single A, double A?
I was in single A. I'm not sure where I will start next year, depending on whatever happens with COVID, how long this outlasts, and when we get started again. So I just gotta be ready for wherever I get placed. If I start off in A-ball, I'll be ready to go there. Start off anywhere else, I'll be ready to go.
Right. So obviously, the dream and the goal is to make it to the big leagues and play on that level. So what's the vision for the future? Once you get to that level and your goals going forward.
I'm not sure, honestly. I just I'm trying to stay in the present right now and just get this get my game going, get it down as a catcher, get ready. But then when I get there, I just want to have fun,
Yeah.
Just have fun, soak it up. Because I look back now at my college days and I realize that I could have definitely been way more present instead of trying to just be like, I want to play professionally. I want to go do this. I want to go do that. And I wish that I just soaked up that moment more. Cause like now with this whole COVID thing going on, I'm like, those were like my time at UCF and Chipola. Those were the best years of my life.
Yeah.
And I think I was just always on the chase of trying to get to the next thing instead of just enjoying it. So whatever comes with whatever down the line, I'll be happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm glad you said that because I find myself doing that a lot as well. Because I always found myself when I was like in season, I was like, I can't wait, to the off season. So I know what I got to work on now. And then the off season, I was like, I can't wait to play instead of just living in the moment and just making the best out of every single day. Because I feel if you do exactly what you have to do every day, it's going to get you to where you need to be in that future,
Exactly.
And those are the moments that carry with you as a player and as a person. because you grow so much and you don't realize it. Like you said, those are the best moments of your life. I'm sure there was times where you're like, man, I can't wait to get out of JUCO. I know I've said it before. I was like, bro, I'm done with JUCO. Like, I just can't wait. But then you look back and you're like, wow, like I wish I took it, like, I feel like I took it for granted because those are some great moments.
Exactly. And that's kind of how I felt too. So, yeah, no, that's actually, it's funny because when I was at UCF, that's when I started learning that we really focus on like the mental game
Mm-hmm.
Of baseball there. And because baseball is such a tough sport of failure, we really like tried to focus on staying in the present moment and like not worrying like, all right, I'm 0 for 5 right now. If I don't get a hit here, then my batting average goes to this. We would just focus on winning this pitch.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. And that's helped me a lot, because it just helps with life in general, I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Like you said, batting percentage, I was the same way with my 3-point percentage, where it's like, this game I shot 4 for 5 from 3, and then the next game I shot 1 for 7, and now I'm going on NJCAA and checking my shooting percentage, and it messes with your mental. I feel like the best bet, don't even look at your stats, and just keep plugging, and eventually, the cream will rise to the top.
Exactly. And that's why I think about this all the time. I actually tell this story a lot. Like, so I remember, like, if I didn't learn those things at UCF when I got to professional baseball, I would have been out just because, like, you really need, like, a good, like, mental to play professionally because, like, every player you play against is really good. So there's going to be times where you're struggling and you don't know when your next hit's coming.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got moved up to A-ball, I started off, I think, 0 for 15, I think, on that next team. And I remember I was like, the only thing that's going to get me out of this is winning this next pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get a hit here. All right, I'm winning this pitch now. And I was like, if I didn't have those things in my arsenal, like mentally, I would have been released already.
Yeah.
Because like most people would probably just panic and be like, I'm 0 for 15. Like they probably think I suck. Like what am I going to do next? And then it just really snowballs and then you're screwed,
Yeah. No, baseball is tough when you get in those slumps, and it's all mental, man. Because you've proved you can hit the ball. You've proved you can hit the ball at a professional level. But then it just comes down to the mental and being mentally tough enough to get out of those slumps and get back in a groove.
Exactly. And that's actually another thing. It's funny too, because with those, when I had my first 0 for 15, I decided I'm never like bat flipping or like showing up a pitcher ever again. Because you don't know when your next hit's coming, right, bro. It might not ever come. So you better stay humble.
Yeah, no, seriously. Baseball is a very humbling sport. Because,
exactly.
Success does not come too often when you're, at bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, bro, this was great. Definitely to, link up again and, speak. One question before you go. If you had any advice to give to a kid in your shoes as a high school kid or a JUCO kid, what's the advice you could give them to get where you are at today?
I would say that it's never too late to start, and that if you work hard, believe in yourself, and trust the process, that you could take it to wherever you want. And you just got to believe in that. And like you said, the cream rises to the top eventually if you put in the work and you believe in yourself, and it's never too late.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Yeah, this was a good one, man. I definitely, I hit up, I texted Zach the day after I gave him the hoodie. I'm like, yo, I was like, you think Tyler would want to do a podcast? And he's like, yeah, bro. He's like, he's busy, with everything and stuff like that. He was like, I'll hit him up. And I was like, let me see. So I hit you up on Instagram. I was like, cool. But I definitely wanted to get this one done because, childhood friend, and what I mean, you made it,
Yeah, I got to keep going. But it's been definitely it's been great to talk to you, bro. We got to for sure hang out sometime and link up and do something, me, you, and Zach or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. We'll do that soon. As we come to a close, I just wanted to let everyone know that the hoodies are in. These are the Journey hoodies. What size you need? I'll get you one.
A large, bro.
Large? Okay, yeah.
Those are fire.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, so they're in, man. If y'all need your merch, you could, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is right now before the website gets up. And yeah, man, this was dope. I'd love to have you back on in the future. And if once you play at Citi Field or Yankee Stadium or even the Phillies, I would love to come to a game, bro.
For sure, bro. I got you anytime.
Yeah. It was good, bro. Yeah, thank you for coming on, and we'll be in touch, bro.
Yeah, thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good luck with everything, and I'm gonna follow your progress for sure.
Hey, you too, bro. Keep going, bro.
All right, man.
All right, peace.